Welcome to your stretch series. Today is all about getting loose and getting the stiffness and tightness away. Are you ready? So all you need today is yourself, of course, and a chair. We're going to start off with a seated cat-cow. So what I want you to do is just sit down in your chair, bring your feet underneath you, and I want you to bring your hands to your knees. If you prefer your hips, that's fine as well. From there, we're pushing our chest out, arching our back, and then we're rounding our shoulders for 15 seconds, starting now. And rest and breathe. So that's a great start to start our stretch series, because that's really hitting that lower back and our hips. So let's go into our next stretch. Our next stretch we have is our standing back extension stretch. So you're standing on your feet, and I want you to think about, I call this the Titanic move, if you remember the movie on Titanic. So this movement, we're arching back. Right, we're on the edge of the ship right now, on the ship, and we're arching back as if we're on the Titanic right now. So our hands and fingertips are pointing down towards the floor, and we're pushing our chest up and out, arching back as far as we can, okay? Hold this for 15 seconds. And breathe. Good job. So let's go into our next stretch. Our next stretch we have is a seated spinal twist, and we're going to do this in our chair. Bring your hands to the left side of your chair, twisting your lower back as if you're wringing out a towel or twisting the top off of a water bottle. So we're twisting and rotating, and we're going to hold this for 15. And breathe. Good job. How you feeling? Feeling better? Thumbs up, okay? So let's go into our next stretch. We have a seated figure 4. If you struggle with tight hips, maybe from a heavy leg day, maybe you're sitting a lot, or if you just naturally have tight hips, this is a great one for you. So you're gonna cross your left leg over your right, and at this point, we want to flatten out the top of our leg as much as possible. We don't want to be here. We want to really push that knee down, opening up our hips. With good posture, we want to think about keeping our back flat and leaning forward, bringing our chest towards our thigh, and boom, bam, there you feel it in the hip. So if you have your left leg on top, you should be feeling your left hip. Hold this for 15. And breathe. So did you feel tightness in your hips or your glutes? I felt some tightness, especially on my right side. So that just lets me know, and hopefully lets you know too, we need to work on those areas more. So from there, we're gonna go into our next exercise, which is our standing hip flexor stretch. So for this exercise, we're gonna create a little bit more space. I want you to think about positioning your legs in the stance of a lunge. So our left leg is forward, our right leg is back, but we want to keep our back leg straight as possible. So I'm aiming my heel, watch my heel, to the floor, and I want to feel the stretch. in the back hip. So I'm gonna face this way so you can get a better visual. We're gonna hold this for 15. Hands coming up. Good job. So you should have felt that right across your hips. So let's go into our next stretch. Our next stretch we have is a side lunge stretch. With this one, if you have issues with your knees, just don't go as deep or as low. So what I want you to do is focus on spreading your feet wide. Give myself some space here. And we want to focus on just shifting our weight to the side, placing our hands on our thigh, and we keep the other opposite leg straight, and we're going to hold this for 15. And feet together. So let's go back to our chair. Our next stretch we have is a seated pelvic tilt. So what I want you to think about doing with this one is arching your hips forward. You can do this one standing as well, but in a chair, we want to get our thumbs, place them near that bony area on our lower back, near our hips, and just tilt our pelvis forward, popping our hips back for 15 seconds. And breathe. Going to our next one. Our next stretch we have is a quad stretch. This is targeting our thighs. If you need balance with this, you're going to hold on to the wall or something sturdy. So what I want you to do is bring your left ankle towards your hips or your booty muscles and see if you can pull at your ankle, keeping that leg in line with your straight leg. And rest and breathe. Good job. So let's go into our next stretch we have is a deep chair stretch, and ooh, do I love this stretch. We will be in our chair, of course, and what I want you to think about doing is just rounding your body over your legs. So you think about big movements with your arms coming down, bringing your chest to your thigh, and we're going to hold this for 15. Good. I love that one. It's so simple, but it's really good for stretching out any stiffness and tightness. So let's go into our last one. Our last stretch we have is our seated forward fold. So for this exercise, extend your legs out, slide your hips, slide them to the side, to the edge. You're going to balance or rest your legs on your heels. So you don't want to be flat-footed right here. And then we're just leaning forward. Do keep your back as flat as you can. Try not to round your back too much. And you're just reaching towards your toes. Hold this for 15. breathe, and rest. That's the beautiful thing about stretching, is you realize how stiff and tight that you can be sometimes in the areas you need to focus on more. So hopefully you figured out some areas that you need to work out more so you can move more freely. So thank you for joining me for another mobility class, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.